Hello, this is Pam Hardin, Western Carolina University, ENT 610, with the SWOT analysis assignment. My business concept is POA Consulting LLC. POA stands for Property Owners Association, and POA Consulting would offer residential real estate developers and subdivision property owners in North Carolina a packaged professional service to form a nonprofit corporation for their subdivision property owners association. The way this business concept came about is there's a subdivision in Watauga County, North Carolina called Signature Ridge. Signature Ridge was developed right before the recession, and the developer sold one lot, and then the recession hit and the real estate crash followed. The bank, or the lender, BB&T, foreclosed on this developer and the Signature Ridge subdivision. My husband and I bought a couple of lots in this development out of foreclosure, along with about 10 other folks. Then the homeowners, or the property owners of this development, we found ourselves without a property owner association to govern the subdivision, and we set out to form one on our own. The way residential real estate development usually works is a developer would buy a vacant tract of land, meaning there wouldn't be any structures generally on it, it would just be open land, and they would subdivide that land into lots and then put in roadways and generally underground utilities and any amenities that the subdivision would offer. So that's kind of in a nutshell how the residential real estate business works. Why do you need a POA? POAs maintain essential common areas and amenities like roads and pools or things like that. POAs also govern restrictive covenants, which say what the property can be used for and how you can develop it. In the absence of a developer, such as what we found ourselves in, a foreclosure situation, the property owners would find it necessary to establish their own. POAs are also necessary to maintain the property values of the subdivision. They're also time-consuming and involve quite a detailed process. POAs also, in a normal situation where it doesn't go into a subdivision does not go into foreclosure, this would allow the developer to end their responsibility, step out of the subdivision, and move on probably to develop another piece of property. The benefits of POAs: they do enforce the restrictive covenants. Restrictive covenants do offer governance and guidelines on what the property can be used for. For example, do you all need matching mailboxes, or what color can you paint your house? They maintain the common areas, and this also maximizes your property values. They minimize the maintenance responsibility, so we all chip in for road maintenance in the subdivision and cutting the grass around the entrance and landscaping and things like that, so we do share the responsibility. The property owners are members of the POA, and they do elect a board of directors like any other nonprofit would. POA members pay assessment or dues to cover the expenses. For example, our dues are $250 per lot, and that does cover our mowing and maintenance of common areas and road maintenance. Expenses could include anything from landscaping to any insurance you might need. If you have a clubhouse or pool, they also would provide for legal counsel, and if you need a security guard or something like that, it would pay for that. So what are the strengths of POA Consulting LLC? It is a unique concept. I haven't really found anybody else offering real estate consulting services in this manner. It would be very low startup cost. It would be a cottage industry. I have a home office set up in a spare bedroom out of my home, and that's already set up with phone, internet, computers, fax machine, scanning, that kind of thing. I have the skill set and experience in order to begin this business. I worked as a paralegal for 12 years, have formed and dissolved nonprofit corporations, hold a inactive real estate broker license, so my unique skill set would provide the skills and basis to begin the business. The service does provide a low-cost alternative. Generally, you would go to an attorney to do this. Attorneys in Western North Carolina for this type of service would generally charge about $250 an hour. It could be, or the way we did our Signature Ridge POA was a virtual business. You can file your articles with the Secretary of State through internet or by mail, and our homeowners association meetings are conducted via conference call. So you can set up a lot of it virtually. You don't have to be in the county or the location of the subdivision. It provides the subdivision owners with peace of mind. There are some psychographics involved with owning a home. You want to make sure you have a way to get to your home and other things that would go into that. Weaknesses. It is a new startup. There are no established customer bases for the consulting business. There's no established brand, so it wouldn't be recognized in the real estate development world. The knowledge and expertise would rest with the sole proprietor, so if something happened there, it would there's nobody to step in and take over the business. And I have been having some difficulty. It's a very niche market in developing targeting my audience and what would be the marketing strategy to reach either residential real estate developers or people who own property in a foreclosed subdivision. Opportunities. It is a necessity for subdivision. If you can't get to your house, then you've got a pretty big problem. It is not necessary to hire an attorney, as we found out. We did find the resources amongst our home or property owners to do it ourselves. The price, of course, we did it for free. There was a $60 filing fee with the Secretary of State, but we could charge less than $250, which would be your normal attorney fee for that. The recession did create subdivision foreclosures, and as I ride around Western North Carolina, I do still see some gates shut and signs still up, so I think there are still some pretty large tracts of land that are in foreclosure. Hopefully that would change as the economy comes back. Then also the strengthening economy is increasing new home starts. The study reference below says that we're seeing new home starts across the nation at about 5% increase. The demographics do support POAs and planned developments, in that the boomers are looking for things with amenities like hiking trails, fitness centers, pools. They're looking for easy living, simple living in their golden years, where they don't have to even maybe necessarily worry about cutting the grass like in a condo or townhome situation. Technology is allowing that this type of service be done virtually. That would certainly be an opportunity. You don't have to be in the town that you or the county that you're serving, or even the region that you're serving, so that would be an opportunity. Threats would be competitors would include attorneys, and also competitors could be the legal-based websites like LegalZoom or something like that. I did research them, didn't see anything exactly like this, but it's certainly a possibility. The economy affects the real estate market, residential and commercial, tremendously. If people don't have jobs, they aren't buying, and they aren't even able to, of course, pay their mortgages and stay in their homes. So the economy and watching those cycles and ups and downs would definitely be a need. The ability to, as I mentioned earlier, the ability to identify a target and reach my niche market has proved to be quite a challenge. How do you find these foreclosed subdivisions? How do you find the people who are buying in them? How do you find residential real estate developers and know that they're getting ready to develop a subdivision? And that's the ground floor you would want to get on. The demographics, of course, the boomers on one side are driving that market, as we see more of them wanting amenities, simple living. But then the flip side of that is the millennials are now, of course, a huge force. They are now entering the housing market, and we just aren't really exactly sure what trends they're going to show. Some things do indicate that they're primarily going towards the big cities, so that's where the jobs are, but we aren't really sure how that's going to play out in the future. Thank you for listening. I really appreciate it. And this is Pam Hardin, Western Carolina ENT SWOT Analysis.